All right, let's get into the big news of the day. And that is 3 days after the 49ers lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58, in which the defense did not play well at all in the fourth quarter and in overtime. Uh, Big news out of Santa Clara. Kyle Shanahan called an impromptu press conference yesterday and announced that he has fired Steve Wilks. The 49ers defensive coordinator is out in San Francisco after just 1 year manning the defense for the 49ers. And folks, my reaction to this is this. I'm not surprised that Steve Wilks got fired by the San Francisco 49ers. I really am not surprised that he got fired. In fact, and I'll tell you guys this right now, I would have been more shocked had he stayed with the San Francisco 49ers. I thought, regardless of if we had won the Super Bowl or not, that this was coming because you could tell throughout the entire season that Kyle Shanahan and Steve Wilks did not get along and their philosophies on defense did not align. Shanahan, after the Minnesota game and after a couple of games this past season, publicly went to the media and ripped Steve Wilks for his poor defensive calls. When have you ever seen Shanahan do that to any of his assistants? You never see that from Kyle Shanahan. You just never, ever, ever see that from Kyle Shanahan. So for him to do that, it means he did not like working with Steve Wilks at all. And like he had beef with Steve Wilks. And also, guys, don't forget, the Niners forced Steve Wilks to move from the booth to the sideline. Steve Wilks loves coaching from the booth. He loves being inside that warm, cushy booth and diagramming plays and calling the defense. But the Niners were like, no, you're not doing that, bro. You're not doing that anymore. So what they did was they forced Steve Wilks, against his will, to go down to the sidelines and coach the defense from the sideline. That was another strike. And then another strike was when the 49ers, and I think this was a killer, was Nick Bosa, after the Super Bowl loss, said that the Niners weren't prepared and were surprised that Kansas City was using RPO. What? Are you insane, man? Are you freaking insane? First of all, every team uses RPOs. So for you to not even be prepared for the RPO game is an absolute disgrace, and it's unacceptable at all. And for a player to come out to the media and call you out like that, it's basically the end of you. And I think what really was the final straw was, and I remember this play very, very well, was when the 49ers and the Chiefs are battling in overtime. I think it's like 3rd down and 6 for the Kansas City Chiefs. And Steve Wilks is about to call and cover zero blitz, all out blitz. And Kyle Shanahan burns a timeout, and you could see on the telecast, he is angry at Steve Wilks. He is just going off at him on the headset. He's chewing him out. And everybody saw it. All of the world that was watching that game saw that live. And that's when I realized, okay, yeah, Steve Wilks is done. There's no way, even if we win, that he's coming back as defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers. So not surprised at all that he's out. I think it was going to happen regardless of had we won or lost. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, we scapegoated him. No, we didn't. Steve Wilks, it just didn't work out, like Kyle Shanahan said. It just didn't work out. He wasn't the right fit. Him and the head coach didn't get along. Head coach didn't agree with him on a lot of the stuff. And when your head coach and defensive coordinator don't get along, you might as well just move on quickly because that's a recipe for disaster.